This speech is not about climbing a mountain, overcoming cancer, winning a gold medal, or dodging bullets on the battlefield. It's about something that goes on inside our mind that's very subtle, but outside has a profound effect on how people perceive you. Each day we make hundreds of decisions, and some of those decisions are to do with commitment. Oh, by the way, I was down in London on the Piccadilly line, and I was thundering through the tunnel, and there was a woman reading a book opposite me. I kid you not, the title of this book was Commitment. Men Can't Even Spell It. But seriously, we make loads of decisions based on commitment, agreements, and promises. But when we break our promises, what happens is our internal compass spins around, and we lose direction. So that people look at you and go, he's lost his integrity. She hasn't got any integrity. This is a leadership issue. And we're all involved because it's self-leadership that I'm talking about. From world leaders down to housewives, from CEOs to school children. We need to learn how to keep our word, because when we do, our integrity grows. When we make agreements, we do it with the best intention. We believe fully that we are going to fulfill that agreement. And then, life gets in the way. Marianne Williamson once wrote, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us most. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give permission for other people to do the same." But just how exactly are we supposed to let our light shine? I believe one way is through integrity. When we walk into a room, we flick the switch, and it moves the room from darkness to light. It takes 1 second, but it changes everything. Wouldn't it be fantastic if we had a switch in our heart that moved us from darkness to light? Guess what? We do. It's called integrity. And one small part of integrity is when we do what we say we're going to do, and we fulfill our word, our light shines. And when we break our promises, our light goes out. I heard a story about a little girl named Jessie. She loved words, and her father promised her that he would come home early one evening and they would play Scrabble. She put her chair by the door on Friday evening, and she waited, and she waited, and she waited. Hours later, her father came through the door full of apologies about how he had to stay late at the office and he couldn't possibly play Scrabble. It was just too late. Jessie was undaunted. She said, "Daddy, how much money do you make?" He said, "That's none of your business, Jessie." She said, "No, really, I really want to know." He said, "Well, if you must know, I make 20 pounds an hour." She said, "Good, can I borrow 4 pounds?" He said, "Certainly not." So she went upstairs feeling rather dejected. Then, feeling guilty, he went upstairs a little bit later, and he said, "I'm sorry, honey. I was a bit hard on you earlier. Here's the 4 pounds you wanted to borrow." "Oh, thanks, Daddy." She reached over and pulled a jar of coins and started counting furiously. "I'm confused. Why did you ask for 4 pounds when you had so much money in the first place?" She said, "Because I didn't think I had enough, and now I do. Daddy, here's 20 pounds. Can I buy an hour of your time?" Sometimes it takes a child to remind us how to flick the switch of integrity and let our light shine. I've had to be reminded many times throughout my life. I used to be an extra in the movie industry, and one day, my agent phoned me up and he said, "Eric, I've got this job for you. You're perfect for it." He used to say that about every job he ever gave me. The trouble was, this job came on a Saturday, a day I had promised my son Noah that I would attend his gymnastics competition. I knew how important it was to him to have his daddy there, but I took the job anyway. Saturday morning came along, and I found myself on the set of a Hollywood blockbuster called Spy Games. They dressed me as a CIA agent, complete with briefcase, brown trench coat, and a mobile phone. There were 3 other extras dressed as agents, and then we were joined by another gentleman, Robert Redford. The second assistant said, "It's real easy, guys. All you have to do is follow Robert down the corridor." Cameras started to roll, and it was go Robert, go Mark, go John, go Stephen, go Eric. We walked down the corridor, cool as cucumbers. Cut. First take was in the can. Now, I don't know if you know this, but it takes a really long time to reset on these big budget movies. I got really bored, so I started pushing the buttons on my prop phone. It came on. It wasn't a prop at all. I thought, who can I phone and impress with my newfound friendship with Robert Redford? I thought, I'll call Noah. He's probably still at home. He hasn't left for the gymnastics comp yet. Noah, you'll never guess who I'm working with today. Robert Redford. He said, who's he? I was left with Generation Gap egg all over my face. Just then, the assistant came up, and he took the phone from me, and he hands it to Robert, saying the director wanted Robert to be on the phone for the next take. The camera started to roll, and it was go, go, go. We walked down the corridor. The phone in Robert's hand started to ring. My son had dialed last number redial, trying to call me back. Now, I'm told that in road traffic accidents, people see events unfold in slow motion. That's exactly what happened to me as I went, "Don't answer the phone, Robert." Too late, he answered. "Hello? Dad? No, who is this?" "Noah, who's this?" "Robert, what's your dad's name?" "Eric." "Eric, Eric!" Robert Redford's holding the phone up, shouting my name. The cameras are still rolling, and men start running in every direction. And out of the chaos, I see him turn and come towards me to have a few choice words. He says, "Eric, what's your son doing calling you in the middle of a movie shoot?" I explained to him how I had promised my son I would attend his gymnastics competition, but that my agent had phoned me with this amazing job that I was perfect for. Robert leant forward and he said, "Eric, I know a movie that's being cast right now. You are perfect for it. It's called Being a Responsible Father. And there's a little boy at home who needs to see that movie." Sometimes it takes an adult to remind us how to flick the switch of integrity and let our light shine. Because you know what it's like. We say we're going to lose weight, and we don't. We say we're going to visit our relatives more often, and we don't. We say we're going to work less, relax more, and write that book, and we don't. Unless we learn how to flick the switch of integrity more often and do what we say we're going to do, nothing's going to change. We owe it to our children because they copy everything we do. We owe it to each other because we can elevate each other to greatness. But most of all, we owe it to ourselves because we only get one chance at life. Ladies and gentlemen, talk is cheap. It's action that counts. These are our lives we're talking about. We want to make them amazing, right? Well, one way to make them amazing is to do what you say you're going to do more often. And there's 3 steps you can take to make sure that you fulfill your agreements. You don't break your agreements anymore. Number 1, make fewer of them. Oh yeah, because learn how to say no more often. Number 2, write them down. Because statistics have shown that you're 86% more likely to complete something and get it done if you write it down. Number 3, make it important. Because you know what it's like. When it's really important, you'll put everything out of the way and you'll go and do it. They say life is like a tapestry. If that is indeed the truth, surely the warp and the weft is the relationships that we make with the people we meet. And if that's true, part of the beauty of that tapestry is keeping our promises and keeping our word. So, I urge you, flick the switch to integrity. Do what you say you're going to do, and let your light shine.